into this.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, Zath, I'm gonna take us in here. Let's have a look at the NK lineup. All right, so here we go. Spawning on the north side here of Warriors Path. NK, we've got an Ohio, a St. Vincent, Des Moines, double Stalingrad, Almery, Venezia. That's a lot of cruisers, man. And then Delny and Yu Yang. How curious.
Yep.
Let's have a quick look. Yang is definitely radar.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah. Okay. Nothing really special about these builds. The Ohio is a standard survivability build. The Des Moines is a unique upgrade. That's about it. What do we got for SULSA, Zach?
Well, before we get into that, a couple things that I want to comment on real quick. If you look at Gneisenau's Ohio, he's got propulsion module instead of the typical, like you said, tank build. Your typical damage control mod 2 would go in that slot there. So that I find interesting. The Stalingrads, one is range, Flatulent Fox, and the other is reload, Irish potatoes.
Okay, yeah, they've chosen a little different there. Yep, I see it.
Might give you a little bit of a hint as to where they're going. Oh, interesting. Montana. So SULSA to the south, bringing Montana with preventative maintenance. As a commander, I'm scratching my head on this one, guys.
That is a bit of an odd one. That's a strange one.
Preventative maintenance helps to prevent modules from getting disabled or destroyed, especially torpedoes on a torpedo armed battleship. But Montana's got pretty tanky guns, pretty good armor and health hit points on those turrets, so I'm not sure about that. Anyways, we've got St. Vincent, and then we have the Houdenliu, Des Moines, and range module Des Moines. And here we go with a Plymouth, the first time we've seen a Plymouth in KOTS 15. And then we have a legendary Henri. For destroyers, we have, let's see, a Yu Yang. This is a radar Yu Yang torpedo spec. A gearing that is already smoking up. He is going for smoke spec as well. It's a standard gearing. And a Z52 that's dropping depth charges over here with the smoke as well. I don't know why you'd want to drop your depth charges.
Yeah, I don't know either. Now, the Z is also, he's basically a torpedo build, right?
Yeah.
He's done the torpedo reload. The German torpedoes, you can get Z52's torpedo reload down really low, like 65-second low. But the German torpedoes don't hit all that hard. They're just not that great. They're okay.
Yes.
And so if I was going to play a Z52 in this match, I almost the torpedo lanes on Warriors Path are not amazing. I almost feel like you'd be better off taking a Z42 and leaning heavily into a gun build, but we'll see what happens.
So, I don't mean to be rude to the gearing Plymouth combo, but it just seems that this Plymouth smokescreen is very, very passive to the point where it almost just seems like this is a waste because, I mean, obviously they're not going to have full knowledge of the opening deployment until about 3-4 minutes in, but just look how far back the Plymouth is compared to where everything else is. Like, I understand that it's better to be a little cautious at the start with your deployments, but this feels like it was just a complete waste of a gearing smokescreen. But I could be too harsh. So
his radar doesn't even cover the entirety of the B count.
Right, that's what I was fixing to say. You got it. 2/3 of it. That's it.
So he doesn't even get the whole cap. So I'm not sure why that's. I'm not sure the value of it.
And matter of fact, look at Master.
Be very careful. Yeah, he's about to sail into these torpedoes. He needs to get over on the rudder. He's got it. He's good.
Yep. The hydro from the Plymouth was able to pick those up a little.
Probably definitely helps out there a little bit. If nothing else, and again, they probably can't tell this, but the existence of that smoke cloud has basically driven away the Delny.
Yes.
Who was kind of lurking in mid, thinking about it, maybe looking at that cap, and then decided, nope, I am not. So, maybe a bit of psychological warfare there, but very little else.
It could have been. And the gearing could also potentially cap B, which I don't know why he's not getting on it, because
I was going to mention that.
does have... Yeah, the Stalingrad does have radar over most
but nobody will have shots.
Exactly,
he doesn't know that, though.
Exactly. Yeah,
he doesn't know that, perhaps.
My guess is he's coming back to do another smoke screen for the Plymouth, and then he'll go into B. By that point...
Plymouth has its own smoke.
That is true.
Yeah, it's so very strange. Very, very strange.
Plymouth has his own smoke. At this point, you need to save your smoke for something else and make the Plymouth start using his own.
Oh,
Plymouth
Leo
position
fighting off
completely
roll-off depth
just
charges again. Huh.
the position of the Plymouth baffles me entirely. If you were to go shove that thing over here up the 7 line into these islands, that would make a lot more sense to me. This would be a very powerful position for Plymouth because while you couldn't cover both caps with your radar, you would have shots into either cap. Like if you were to sit right here south of this island along the 6-7 line, like in about F7, this would be nice, right? But I don't know.
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not trying to beat on him. It's just
No.
it's a very strange
Yep.
position.
It just feels suboptimal, let's say.
So
Very
Master
nice.
is backing into B now.
Yep, Master's gonna step onto B as Nishi over here on C steps onto C in time to draw out the Des Moines radar from Death Machine.
Yep.
He's gonna take some shots from Checkmate's Delny, who's gonna take some fire in return.
All sorts of fire going on.
The radar.
Yep.
The Stalingrad doesn't have radar range on B, but I don't think there's really anything that would they would be able to shoot. I guess St. Vincent, but no, not even him.
I'm also baffled
Yeah,
with this Houghton Leo position here. I guess it's so that he can shoot the Des Moines, but
Yeah.
your gimmick
is he in
reaching.
range of? Is he in range? Yeah, he's not in range of the planes out here.
The only thing I
Like,
could
if you
think
were
of is
Assuming they were the north side of this island over here on the 9 line, right?
Yes.
You want to be able to bomb that.
that's it. That's all I can think of.
But that's not in the cap anymore. So, like,
No.
do you really care if somebody sets up there? He can cover the cap, but he's not in the cap. I
Right.
don't know. Very strange. Well, 6 minutes in, both teams have grabbed a cap now. Master picks up B. Glaucoma picks up A. But C seems fairly well contested for the moment. It looks like Nishi's going to try to get back in, knowing that the Des Moines radar is offline for a while. He should be able to pick up this cap because Flatulence Stalingrad is way too far off the cap for that to be of a factor.
And also, one other reason why I harped on that B positioning is because, in my opinion, I think SULSA could have had that B cap probably 2 minutes earlier. And now, even though they're flipping C at the moment, it's no guarantee that they do take control of it. And they could have had an extra 40, 50 points out of that B cap at the start. But I'll stop mentioning it now.
No. It just I hear what you're saying, and it feels like how there are times that we harp on over-aggression, right? But I think that sometimes the line between over-aggression and under-aggression is a very thin one, and finding it can sometimes be very difficult. So I sympathize with teams that struggle with that because I think it's something that everybody in the game struggles with at times.
I'd buy that. Yep, for sure. But surprisingly, SULSA does flip C. I mean,
They grab C, and look at the Plymouth and the gearing. They're rotating back to A. I like this play.
I don't.
Because now I do, because you're forcing the team that has 2 destroyers to start playing a capture zone game. And how are they going to pull that off exactly? Because they don't have the board pieces to pull it off.
So a couple of comments. One, C cap, we knew he was going to get C because the radar was down. Who's going to go in the Delny and fight the Z-52? Like,
exactly.
No. As far as the gearing Plymouth, what I would have preferred to have seen, Raptor, and this is what I'm saying about I would have rather have seen those guys going up the 6-7 line, get on the backside, if they can, even behind the Ohio, get in the backfield, and those two in the backfield. Now you got to deal with, right, 2 different avenues of attack on either side, whichever way they choose to go. The way that they've gone right now, they've basically said, well, let's just put 2 more ships in front of the enemy.
I hear what you're saying, but I don't. The problem with going that deep is that you run the risk of getting knocked off in detail, right? Now, I will say I feel like our Plymouth players being a little too conservative, right? You've got this beautiful smoke screen that Master has laid between these 2 islands. I feel like that's where the Plymouth needs to be, and he's about 2 or 3 kilometers behind it over here. Because if you were to move him up into that smoke screen, he'd have great radar coverage over the entire A cap. You could then potentially risk shoving the gearing and or the yang up in that cap, force them to make a play, and possibly kill Glaucoma when he tries to fight you over it. If he tries to fight you over it.
I suppose,
Delny's making a play at C. Look at this.
I wonder if Irish Potato also is going to realize that he can start creeping down the 4 line and start hugging those islands and trying to find some angles to work with. Because look at the map, guys. Like, SULSA is so spread out right now. I mean, they have literally nothing for the whole center part of the map. And I'd love to see Irish Potato get a move on here and try to start working out some angles to potentially, because he's got nothing to worry about from the C side.
And the gearing
Nothing.
smoke should have telegraphed to the enemy, hey, the gearing is now south of A instead of in
Yeah.
B cap.
Yeah, exactly. So hopefully that gets noticed here very soon, because it could bring some really spicy cross shots for sure.
Now the Plymouth is
So
actually
now-
shooting his guns.
Yeah, he is. And now you've got both Master and Panda, the Yang and the Gearing over here on the 1-2 line working this A cap. If they, I mean, admittedly they're out here in front of the guns of the St. Vincent, so that's a risk. But if they can pick up Glaucoma, suddenly NK is in a world of pain because they don't have the board. They don't have any board control at all. They're shoving the Delny back in.
He is spotted.
He is. I'm waiting for somebody to shoot him. The Howden Liu tried to drop the bombs on him a minute ago and couldn't, and came up empty. There we go. They're continuing to defend the C cap. Brilliant job. There we go. Finally getting onto the A cap now. That's with Master, I think. Oh, Panda just gets hammered by the St. Vincent HE. Or was that SAP? One of the two.
Yeah. In any case, it's a lot of HP that he can't get back.
Yeah,
No.
they're gonna be lucky to get Panda out of this position. He's gonna sneak out of the radar right about there. Venezia shells ding him up a little further.
Yep.
The funny thing is that Yu Yang's radar was probably to detect whatever's in A.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, SULSA is getting some serious points generation.
Yeah.
They only need a
Yeah.
couple minutes before they're going to win this.
So now this here is why I like the Gearing Plymouth rotating back to the edge of the map, because now you've put so much pressure on NK. They have 2 minutes.
They gotta push.
What do you do?
Yeah.
What do you do? You have to push. It's time to push W. You can't play passive anymore.
And it sure looks like the C side is where this W push is going to start, because we got all ships.
They're all coming.
Oh, yeah.
Bloody,
Yeah.
they all coming.
Oh yeah.
And
Now,
finally,
Nish-
Stalingrad is moving too.
Nishi Zed may be in a bit of a pickle here. His hydro is down. Okay, I guess he saw him coming. He's managed to find himself a gap there.
I just would have loved to see, like, how did they not realize that B is completely wide open? Like, they could have.
They're gonna watch this
Really
later and say, "Oh my god."
Yeah.
I mean,
Like,
but that's just it. They have to know now. Like, they know the Gearing and the Plymouth are at A. It's unquestionable. But their position. That's my point. This is what lacking that third destroyer costs you, is the ability to contest more than 2 caps at a time. They don't have the board pieces.
Nishi
so-
is on radar, being shot at now, and also got a torpedo hit on the Ohio and the Henri.
Yang's going to get bumped. Glaucoma's getting bumped now by the Gearing.
Yeah. Gearing and Yang spotting each other across the A cap here.
Yeah.
Glaucoma didn't fire his guns while Master did.
He's got smoke. He can.
Z52 for SULSA
All
goes down
right,
to
so
700.
now the credit to NK. We called it, right? And what do? They move up, they cap A, they cap C. Now they have some breathing room, but they've still got to pick up a kill or do something
there
to
we
get back
go.
in this game.
Well, look at the Delta.
Finally, they're realizing the Delny is fine.
Yeah.
Somebody finally realized that
Uh-oh.
B has been
B
right
is
for the
wide
taking.
open. Yeah. Now they know he's there.
Des Moines radar.
What do you?
Yeah.
Yep. And so now SULSA, of course, SULSA's pulled all their pieces off the mid.
Mhm.
Now they've got to find a way to react to it.
Yeah, but at the moment, what can they do? They can't put the Z52 there, and the Plymouth, Montana, that combo is way over there. The Des Moines has to stay where he's at, so it's not that big of a deal.
All right, they're back. Master's back onto A. That should draw out one of Glaucoma's one of his last 2 radars here.
There it is.
Yep.
So there's the radar. I'm waiting for the St. Vincent or the Venezia shells to fall in, because Glock is not going to shoot. He's not going to reveal his position.
No, he can't afford
Floridian
risking
can't-
it.
Floridian can't afford to die, and I'm sure he's waiting on a heal to come back, but he needs
He
to
has
be careful there.
No more heals.
Ooh.
He has no more heals. Okay.
That's it.
Check the 10 line. A Howden Liu strike going in on Gneisenau. If he can get a fire, get some of these bombs to land, could be impactful.
ECP's
Gneisenau,
ready.
remember, has the acceleration mod. Looks like those are all going to miss.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
There's the Delny.
NK's they really need to be careful here, because if one of them goes out, even though they're flipping the caps,
Glaucoma
it's gonna
spotted.
put-
Yeah, Glaucoma's
Yeah.
lit on the surface. He must have fired his guns or something. I'm not sure how else he would be
Oh, boy.
spotted.
Oh boy, this could be bad.
No, he's dark again now. He's okay.
Okay.
But that does
Well, now
allow
all of a
Master
sudden
to
he
go
ran
right
up.
in.
Okay, so there we go. So now the entire board has flipped the other way, and now SULSA is in a bit of a pickle.
Yeah.
6 minutes to play.
Master, there we go. He's dark now, and he's just going right back into A. So at the very least, they'll work on that.
But the gap has changed. Ooh, big hits on
Big
Master
hits.
there. They knew where to look for him.
Well, he was spotted,
Yep.
so they just,
Yeah.
okay. And he's backing up, so.
Yep. So NK has absolutely bought themselves some beautiful breathing room here. They're going to lose A. I don't think they can defend A at all. So now you basically have to let B go. But I still think you've got to press C and pick up this kill on the Ohio. Like, you had your chance to kill the Ohio and you missed it. You've got to get him now.
They're doing it. It's like they listen to you.
Well, St. Vincent, that's 7-6 pushing the 10 line. I think that's what he's here for.
Yep.
I don't think they know he's there. He's dark at the moment.
The Ohio's guns are not pointed in his direction either, so whenever he comes around, it will be a bit of a surprise.
He's lit now.
And he should be getting spotted now. Yep.
Here we go. Little spotted on the surface. Shells going in. Good
Not
hit.
the
Not a catastrophic one, though.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they pick
Henri
up the
goes
Henri. That's a huge kill because that's a lead change now.
Yes.
And so now with a 20-point lead under 5 minutes, ticking up more caps, even more pressure on SULSA. They have to touch a cap. And look at the Henri and the Delny pushing through mid. They're going to flank Hyper's Des Moines. I love this.
Yeah, this is great.
Yep. We've been waiting for the B push, and it's finally coming.
And I love that NK realized it. They looked at the timer. They looked at the map and went, look, guys, we can't sit here. Let's go. And they're making it work. I love it.
1 minute to go.
SULSA pushing as well, trying to push Gneisenau's Ohio into where they can bag the kill. 60 seconds on the game timer.
The problem is...
Oh, Vincent goes for the shot on the Stalingrad. Is he
I'm a little surprised at that.
No? Oh, boy. We're getting to a point, guys, where one kill either way is either going to end the game.
It will decide it.
SULSA can't lose a ship here. If a ship dies, they're out. They need to pick up a kill to get a time extension, and time's running out.
And big hit on the Good Liu.
7-6 is like, he's like slowing down. He can't afford to do that.
Yeah.
Well, he's trying to hold...
He's trying to kill the Henri.
Yep. Well, there's the Montana shells. Oh!
Got the Henri.
Oh, they got the Henri.
Nice kill.
Okay, we're at the point where anything that happens here could end this game. Anything that happens.
3.5 minutes. It's a 20-point lead for SULSA, but it's falling the wrong way. Look at these torpedoes. Look at the Z torpedoes on the Ohio. Look at that. You're gonna get him.
I don't know.
Oh my goodness. Yes, they are. The clutch torps from Nishi. 986. That's gonna do it because they're gonna take up the A cap and win here in 15 seconds.
Good Leo.
Just heal. Just use the heal. They gotta get the
Nope. That's what I was trying to tell y'all. That's what I was trying to tell y'all.
Wow. Look at that. The Delny bags the kill.
So now what?
Not enough, though.
Not enough.
Now the Des Moines, the Death Machine, he's at 17K, and he's rapidly going down.
But Hyper's camped on C, so again, 12 points apart. Oh, they're hammering this guy.
Oh my goodness.
If they pick up that kill, this is over.
One healing.
That heart got to be throbbing right now. Just land those
Mine
shells.
is throbbing.
Such a close game. And look, Masters all the way back into B, cutting off those points gains completely.
There it is.
Got it.
Wow, what a finish. What a game.
Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained, ladies and gentlemen? Wow.
Oh, boy.
SULSA just bringing that one back. It was such an interesting game. You know, it looked like it was going to go one way, and then it went the other, and then it went the other. And I mean, it came right down to the wire. And I love you guys were talking about that Z52 salvo coming in at that Ohio, and I'm just looking at them like, yep, that's going to happen. But I'm watching the Good Leo also getting burned down to a crisp, and I'm thinking, okay, that's going to happen about the same time, right? So. Then what?
Yeah, right.
Boy, that got
a great game. What a great game. I loved every minute of that. That was awesome.
Me too.